one large unknown at this time, and that's the realignment dollars that will come in on Wednesday. The state hasn't posted the numbers to their website yet, so they're not available to me. A number of budget units came in at significantly less than their assigned net county cost. Animal control at $68,000, elections $418,000, but that was primarily due to reimbursement that is coming in for the special election. So that really made their numbers look wonderful, but it's kind of just a one-shot deal. Your office came in at $62,000 under budget. Executive office contributed back $63,000. County council, I think I've got that in the wrong thing. I think they were over their assigned net county cost. I'm sorry, Janine.
Ding.
Oops. The major ones that were over their assigned net county cost were buildings and grounds, the sheriff and the jail at $406,000. Buildings and grounds was $225,000. The planning team at $115,000. The assessor at $200,000. Those are the major ones that kind of jump out at you. The rest of them were just either a little up or a little down, just depending on which department it was, and not really significant enough to mention just by themselves. Then back to the Budget Unit 1000 estimate for 2008-2009. The secured values increased by 6.23%, which was again a surprise. We expected, we were going along with the budget at 4 and 4.5, then 5, and it finally crept up to a little over 6. Unsecured actually increased by something like 11%, so that was significantly up. Current supplementals, we expect them to stay at pretty much the same as what they are in 2007, 2008. Houses are still changing hands, but not at the rate that they had been and new construction obviously is not happening as well. On the 2008-2009 Budget Unit 1000 shows the prior secured dollar amount not in there anymore. That's because it's been transferred to Budget Unit 1930 to make the payment on the teeter obligation. So that'll be a significant drop in Budget Unit 1000. In addition to that, the penalties and costs associated with those taxes will be again transferred to Budget Unit 1930. That's pretty much the gist of it. Open space I reduced by 10% per the state budget. The county cost plan charges are increased due to charging DOT. And there is an increase in what the county gets back from the county's redevelopment agency shown there as well. That's the synopsis. Are there any questions?
Questions of the board? None? Oh, there is. Okay. Supervisor Delmar.
Thank you. Ms. Ford, you said that in particular regard to the, I think it was the secured, no, I think it was the secured. The changes there, you made a comment about revisiting.
On which one? I could hardly hear you.
I think it was the secured.
That was transfer tax.
Oh, the transfer tax, that's what it was. In the handout that we got today, which was dated yesterday, I think, or today, did that change for what was put in the proposed budget, or is that still the same? Have you revisited that?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
No.
So I'm trying to find it here real quick.
On transfer
So the
tax?
600,000
Yeah.
is, that's what it was
That's
previously
what's
too.
in the proposed budget,
Okay.
and that may need some revisiting, although there are some other numbers that may be adjusted as well that would probably offset whatever decrease there is.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions of the board? Thank you.
Okay, I guess we'll move on to the next part. And I wasn't sure, Tom, at what point you wanted to make your comments, and I don't know if now is the right time or late. You get to pick.
Well, thank you. I just had a couple open remarks I really did want to make to the board, so thank you, Allison. First of all, just on the last issue of the funding, I noticed in fairness to all parties, as we're talking about who's over and who's under in the process here, that one of the items that sticks out is the sheriff's budget of $406K between the sheriff and the jail. That was a significant additional cost. Just want to remind the board that last year at budget hearings, the sheriff had asked for an additional $500,000 to be allocated to his budget. We, the executive office, did hold that in abeyance for the year, and we did not specifically augment the budget at any point. It sort of cleared itself up in the end result. And I do believe the sheriff also, through the state alien prosecution money, there were additional monies that helped offset the original cost of what that amount was. So I just wanted to make that point of clarification for people, that we did acknowledge that there were certain costs that were going to be happening out there. One of the things I wanted to do is go back to our proposed budget message